Well, you come to Cincinnati, and obviously you know the history. There's a reason that you, as the first player overall, got to Cincinnati because the Bengals had the worst team, at least the worst record. And when you start down the whole road of the draft process, was there any fear or concerns? Because we've heard it before being here in Cincinnati that certain players don't want to come play here, that blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Did you have any of that about the Bengals or the organization?
No. Being from Ohio, this is where I wanted to be. And then you sit down with Zach, and Zach's unbelievable. He's gonna be great for us for a long time. Me and him have a special relationship, and there was chemistry from the very first meeting that we had at the combine. So this is a dream for me to be quarterback of the Bengals. It's crazy. From Ohio, it's a lot of fun. We have great players, great coaches, and I think the future is bright.
So tell me about Zach. Most people know absolutely zero about him, right? They know so little of him. As a coach, they know, Sean McVay, they know where he came from. He was at University of Cincinnati, all that kind of stuff. But I've never heard him described like you just described him. Tell me what makes him the guy for you.
A lot of coaches have big egos, and there's none of that. A lot of guys are, this is my system. Don't make any checks. This is the way we're going to run it. And it's really a collaboration within the offense between me, Zach, our offensive coordinator, Brian, and Pitch, our quarterback coach. It's really true collaboration, and there's no ego in the entire building. It's a great working environment. And then we have a great leader in Zach who puts us in the right positions to make plays.
You guys on offense, of course, the big question last year, and I don't think I'm breaking any ground here, were concerns about the offensive line. So I never got to do one of your guys' games this year, but I was talking to Brandon Graham from the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles basically tried to kill you. You took some hits in that game. I was like, oh my God, it was ridiculous. Yeah. So I want to know if this story is true. Brandon came up to me when we're doing an interview with him, getting ready for their game, and he goes, I got to tell you about your guy. And I go, who's my guy? He said, Joe Burrow. I got to tell you about Joe Burrow. He said, we were hitting that guy so hard all game. It got to be like we were like joking about it over on the sideline. Like, this kid, he keeps getting up. I can't believe he keeps getting up. And he goes, I don't know what we got to do to knock him out of the game. He just keeps getting up. And I guess they hit you one time, and it was sort of a cheap shot or a little late or something like that. And this is Brandon's story now. He said you kind of rolled over, you looked at the referee didn't throw a flag or anything, and he said you turned to Brandon and said, when I'm the GOAT, I'm going to get that call. And Brandon loves that story so much, he tells it to me every single time I see him. When I'm the GOAT, I'm going to get that call. I want to know, did that happen?
So I don't think I said GOAT. I think I said, in a couple of years when I'm one of the best or I'm the best, something like that, then I'm going to get that call. And I think I was rolling out to the sideline and threw it away. And Fletcher Cox kind of hit me a little late, hit me on the ground. I'm a rookie. I'm not going to get that call yet. But, I was looking for it. And I got up and Fletcher came over to me and he said, hey, bro, you got to stop taking all these hits. They're going to add up. And I looked at him and, Brandon was right there. And I said, when I'm still balling in a couple of years and I'm at the top of my game, I'm going to get that call. And, that was kind of the extent of it.
Well, it's like every other good story. It has grown into a monster proportion in the locker room in Philadelphia. So anytime you play the Eagles, just know that you capture the respect of the Philadelphia Eagles. They were loving telling me that story. That was great. It was great stuff. All right, now I got to go on to the interesting part of this whole thing. So you guys are starting to kind of get it going, right? You know, you got T, you got Tyler, you got a few things, and you're starting to make some plays. I remember watching the Cleveland game on TV and shooting it up and down the field and scrambles that you made against Philadelphia and some of the different things. You know, it's starting to kind of come together. Tell me where you thought the offense was as, you know, the season went along. And, you know, you're working TN and Tyler and all those guys. And the offensive line clearly had some question marks, whether or not they were ever going to be able to protect it. Where had you guys gotten to at the point of the injury last year?
And we're getting very, very comfortable with each other. The one area that we weren't very good at were the deep balls. And, you know, for whatever reason, we just couldn't connect on them. But quick game, intermediate play action, we were melding pretty well. And, you know, before the injury, I was getting comfortable with, you know, checks. I was starting to see, because I mean, in the NFL, you see some crazy defenses that you've never seen before, and looks that teams really shouldn't be able to play, but they play them. And you know, I was getting comfortable with my checks in those situations, numbers advantage, rotation, checking backside routes, checking three-man concepts to the field. And we were starting to roll. You know, we were playing, I got hurt in the Washington game, and they were the number one pass defense in the league, and we had 200 yards at halftime throwing. So, you know, we were rolling. And, you know, the offensive line, we had a lot of injuries. Against the Titans, I think we had 4 guys out, and we signed someone on Thursday, and he ended up starting the game on Sunday without any knowledge of the offense. So, you know, we had some adversity, but you know, we were starting to get it rolling, and this year I think we're going to take a big step.
Yeah, we're hoping we take a big step. I was happy just to see you walking around the house there a little bit in the way that you were. So give us a little bit of a report. First of all, so when you're the first overall pick, you won a national championship, you know, you're beloved in Cincinnati, you know, the whole thing, it's like everything's going right. Even the offense is starting to go right in the right direction. And then I've never had a knee injury like that. I've had an Achilles thing. I've had some different things, but generally, you know, right away, right? And you could kind of tell with what was going on the field when they came out there and they asked you what it was, and just what was the moment like when you knew? No,
I really don't remember what I was saying. I just remember 2 guys falling into my leg and getting pushed from the right, and you know, basically my knee dislocating a little bit. So there was no doubt in my mind I wasn't going to be playing anymore after that. So that was tough, but you know, it's feeling really good right now. Rehab's going awesome, ahead of where I should be. So, you know, things are looking up.
I saw an interview with your mom, Robin, right, and your dad, Jimmy, the other night, and basically they were saying that you're like every kid, you're like my kids, trying to get some bit of information out of you guys is impossible, but said that that you were actually getting closer, maybe within a month or so, of being able to start throwing to receivers and being able to do that sort of stuff. I mean, what are you doing now? Are you walking, jogging? Can you do any extensions? You know, what is it that you can do right now?
Yeah, I'm lifting normally, squats, all that, running.
Really?
Yeah. And you know, the last about a week and a half, last week, I had my first real throwing session. So I'm dropping, doing play action, all that. Still can't roll out and throw yet, but you know, I'm taking drops, we don't have any receivers here yet, so I'm throwing to equipment managers for rehab. But, you know, it's feeling really good right now.
If you need a really old receiver who runs really slowly now, just give me a call. Although I
Come
want
on over.
some,
We need you.
I want some of those gloves that you can't drop passes with. I still can't. I watch guys catch the football now, and I go, what do they put on those stinking gloves? It's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable what they can do catching the football now. It's just so much fun.